Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Live. So glad that you are joining me, whether that is live or whether it's asynchronous later. I am really excited to share some things tonight, just really showcasing how you can get to know your students at the beginning of the year using Canva for education. And some of you might know that I am a Canva learning consultant, and so I'm in Canva all of the time. But I have been sharing some ideas about creating About Me activities with others lately. And I thought this would be, I think, something that would be helpful for everyone, just to really give you some inspiration, maybe give you some new ideas. And Canva for Education's free. So it's a platform that everyone can use. If you are an educator, you're going to be able to use Canva for education. So if you are joining in tonight live, please say hi in the chat. I would love to know who is joining in. And I would love for you to engage in the chat as well. So if you have questions, if you have things that you're wondering as I share tonight, please definitely put those questions and ideas in the chat. I'd also love to know what things you are doing to get to know your students this year. Some of you might have already started and you are well on your way to building that classroom community. Some of you are maybe not quite even back in school yet, and you are enjoying your last little bit of summer. So I want to try to just provide ideas for everybody, no matter where you are in that getting back to school mindset. I want to be able to just give you some things that you can use. So I am going to jump right in tonight to our I am in summer mode and I am not completely putting my thoughts together tonight, but I am going to be presenting my screen here and sharing with you Canva and sharing with you how you can bring these ideas into your classroom. I have to say that I have had my daughter here the last couple weeks. My son is home right now too, and it has been so nice just to have them around, to be able to just spend time. They've been playing games with me. I just played games with my daughter today, and it was so much fun. I don't know if you have, oh gosh, now I'm going to forget the name. I think it's called Split. So if anybody has played the game Split, let me know, because I've had a lot of fun with her and our family getting to know that game while she's been here. All right, so I am going to go ahead and share my screen and kind of share with you how you can set up this About Me activity. Ryan, I'm so glad that you joined in. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for your new role. First time teaching middle school in 7 years. Let us know how you're feeling about that, Ryan. Really looking forward to hearing about your new journey, and I just hope it's fantastic. I know that you are going to be amazing, and your students are so lucky to have you. So right now, I am in a blank presentation deck, and I did that intentionally because I want to build this activity with you and show you how easy it is to be able to do this. So I am in a blank presentation deck, and I am just going to simply change the color of my background. I like using these gradient colors down here. So I'm going to choose kind of this greenish yellow gradient to add in. And then I'm going to create a very basic About Me board. And why I want to create a very basic About Me board is because I want my students to be the ones that add their creativity. So I am going to type in this block About Me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in 3 frames from the Elements library. And frames in Canva are essentially cutouts for pictures. So I could choose kind of some fun, different arrays of frames if I want to. For this, I'm just going to do a very basic frame. And I am going to duplicate it 3 times so that I have 3 spots on my page. And notice how Canva really spaces it out well for you. So you don't have to worry about having the right amount of space in between there. It really does it for you. And I can scroll my cursor over all of these and position it just the way that I want it to be. Now, what I do underneath these frames is add a tiny little text box. I'm going to go over here to the text button, and I'm going to add a text box here. Might make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to duplicate this so that I have one underneath each of these boxes. Now, what I also like to do, and especially if I'm working with younger learners, maybe middle school learners, Ryan. I don't consider them super little, but sometimes it helps, especially if they are new to Canva, to lock things in position. So the text box can be edited, but you cannot move the text box. So that sometimes can be helpful as you are setting these up for kids. We're going to leave everything else as is. But one of the things that you could do with this type of an activity, if you wanted, you could go up and you could share a template link where you just give everybody their own template and they create their About Me. However, I'm going to share with you a way that you can do this as a collaborative activity and bring everybody in your class into the same deck. And I'm going to show you how to set this up really easily with Bulk Create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my apps over here on the left-hand side, and I'm going to type in Bulk Create, and it's going to show up right here on the top. And I am going to enter my data manually. But what is really cool here is that you can upload data. So if you have a CSV file, you have that classroom roster, and you want to upload it, it's going to take all of those names and it's going to bring it into this design. And essentially what's going to happen is it's going to create this presentation deck. So every single person in your class is going to have their own page to do their About Me. So I'm going to just add my names manually here. So I'm going to add my name. I'll add my husband's name in here. Just kind of give you an idea of what this is going to look like. So I've added some names here. Now I'm going to click done on the right-hand side. So remember, this is in the names column. So I'm going to click done. And now what I need to do is I need to connect the data. So I am going to go up to this About Me tab. And I first am going to make this bigger because we all know that our kids are going to have different lengths of names. So we want to make sure that this is going to fit all the names that we put in here. So I'm just going to drag it kind of bigger so it's going to accommodate. So now what I want to do is once I've clicked on this About Me, I'm going to go up to the three little dots and I'm going to click Connect Data. And I want to connect that name column because remember, that's where all of my names were. So I'm going to click the name column. And now I'm going to go down here to this purple button that says Continue. And it's asking me, do I want to bring all of these names in? And yes, I do. So I'm going to click Generate 6 Designs. And what Canva is going to do is it is going to create this for me in a new deck. So it has basically made a copy of that design. So you can see here, I still have my original, but it's made a copy in a new design and it has added every single name that I added in. How cool is that? So now what I can do is I can share this deck with my students. So I can go to the share button. I can open up my access. Now, if you are in a Canva for Education district, you might see your school or district name here, but you can also open it up to anyone with the link. And you want to make sure that you share this as Can Edit, because that's going to mean that everybody's going to be able to come in and edit in this design. So I'm going to click Copy Link. I will share that link with whoever wants to access it, right? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to invite all my students in. They're going to pop in up here on the top. And I am going to first model what I want them to do. And I actually would probably model first and then share the link with them so that there's not any chaos going on in the deck while I'm modeling. But I would go into my page. I'm just going to move mine to the beginning here. And I would show them how they can add their elements. And so maybe one of the things that they really love is the ocean. And they love going to the ocean or visiting the ocean. I love the ocean. I don't live by the ocean, but I do love it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one with the sunset because I love the beach at sunset. And I'm going to just drag it into this frame and notice how it pops right in. I can double click on it and I can move it back and forth if I want to. If I want to make sure I get that palm tree in, I can move it to the right. And then I might want to add a little blurb at the bottom saying, I love the beach. For the second one, I might want to share something, one of my favorite foods. So I'm going to add ice cream because I do love ice cream. And I'm going to find a picture that I like. Notice there's lots of pictures I can choose from. So I'm going to choose this one here with all of these waffle cones because I do love waffle cones. That's usually my choice when I'm ordering ice cream. And notice again, I can move this back and forth. So if I want all of those cones to be in the picture, I can move it to the right a little bit. And I can write coffee ice cream is my favorite. And then for this last one, maybe I want to add a video, and you can pop in either videos or photos into these frames. And maybe for this one, I want to find a picture of paddleboarding because we have a lot of lakes by us, and I do love to paddleboard in the summer. So oh, this is fun with this dog. I'm going to bring in, that would be very cool if I could teach my dog. We have two right now, and my son's is here with us too at the moment, but that would be so fun to get to teach our dogs to paddleboard. So I'm going to add that one in. And I'm just going to write paddleboarding is so fun. There we go. So you can see this didn't take me very long to do. So after I've modeled to my students how to do this, I will tell them if they have additional time, they can add maybe some other elements. Maybe they really love butterflies and they want to add a butterfly to their design. They might want to do that. Maybe they want to change the color of their background to either another gradient or maybe a solid color. Maybe their favorite color is green and they want to make this green or yellow. They could do that as well. So once every student, is ready to go, I've shared the link with them. They're in the stack. They are going to find their name. And remember, we have populated the stack with their name. So they're going to be able to find it fairly easily. And once they are there, you're going to see their little icon here on the bottom right. And that way I know everybody's found their page. It's really easy to go into grid view and see all of your pages in one glance. And so now I can see, because their little icon's going to be at the bottom, if they're in the right spot. And I can see if there's more than one icon on a screen. I know that there's some people that are in the wrong spot. And so I can go ahead and help them get to where they need to go. I like having this grid view on my portable device. Maybe it's my tablet, and walk around the room so I can see in real time students working. When everybody's where they need to be, I will click timer on the bottom of my screen and I'll set my timer. And you can set this for whatever length of time you think is going to be best for your kids. I like to say about 5 minutes, especially if this is their first time in Canva. You could make this shorter amount of time. You could make this a longer amount of time. You can also set music here, which is fun. So I could choose this energetic music, set my timer, and creating their about me. So I'm going to pause for questions here just to see if any has come in. Oh, Charmaine, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much. And Ryan, 12-week trimester schedule. I'm wondering if that's new for you. But I have a flex seating building thinking classroom on the library. That's so cool. Yes, Ryan, as you learn Canva, let me know if I think you already know Canva, but if you have any questions or wonderings, let me know. I'm excited that you're going to be bringing that into your classroom. And I agree. Start slow for sure. Yeah, the linking of data is really great. It really is helpful to be able to do that. Also, when you think about creating maybe, for the younger grades and those that are putting name tags on tables, also a great trick using that bulk create. You could also use it to create certificates. Notice when you go into bulk create as well that there is a add image and add text. So you can add images in here as well. So I'd love to hear your ideas for that feature. So once everybody is in, they've all spent 5 minutes adding their about me's to the page. What we're going to do next is we're going to go into present mode. So I'll go up here, click present, and then I can go and have each student share their about me. And I might give them 15, 20 seconds to do that. And what I love about this is that students are really getting to express themselves. They're getting to pronounce their names so we know what their name is and how to say it. I'm getting to write the things that they're talking about on maybe my roster so that I have those conversation starters as I'm talking with kids and getting to know them in the first couple weeks. And so this can be really powerful. Another thing that's great is after every student has gone through and shared their about me, now I have this as a reference point, right? So I can save this and I can refer back to it. I also have this that I could, if I wanted to, and back to school night, I could go into autoplay and maybe have this playing up on my screen as parents are coming in, which could be really fun. I also could go down here and make this a video and add audio to it. So as it's looping, we're able to hear, a soundtrack along with the about me. So really, really fun and easy idea. So it did not take me long at all to set this up. I can also very easily go in and make a copy of this template for other periods as well. So if you have a number of different periods, you could just make a copy, use that bulk create, and bring in the new names. So anyway, I hope you have fun with that. If you have any questions about that, please put that in the chat. And now I want to share with you another idea. So this is same concept. You're still doing a collaborative activity, having students share a little bit about themselves. But for this activity, you do not need anything on the page except maybe that spot where students can add their names. So I might add something at the bottom of my page for this one. And I might go through that same process again with bulk create. I can attach my names. I want to make sure that this is connected. And now it will, I didn't create. Let me back up. I didn't connect. This is the same design. I'm going to make a copy. I need to make a different design for this one. So I'm going to get rid of this about me. I'm going to go into bulk create again. I'm going to enter my data manually. I'm just going to add my name for this one since you've already seen me do it once. Click done, connect my data, choose the name field, click continue. And now it is going to generate again this design for every student in my class. So for this activity, what I want students to do is to create their name with letter frames in Canva. So I would, same idea, show them how to do this by modeling me spelling out my name. And then I would go into share, make sure that this is opened up to anyone with a link can edit, copy it, and share it with kids so that they could all jump in. So in Elements, to do a letter frame activity, I'm going to click in this search bar, and I am going to go to my frames category here. And you'll notice if you scroll down, you will see letters. So I'm going to go ahead and open those up, and I am going to spell out my name with letters. Just going to grab them all first, and I'm going to space them all out on my page. So I'm going to add my S and my H and my A. And what's kind of nice in Canva too, you can see it's helping you get these right, lined up correctly. So I'm going to bring this last one in A. And now I can use my cursor, grab all of my letters and move it over so it's right in the center. I can even make this a little bit bigger. So now what I'm doing for this activity is I want to share a little bit about myself as well. But for this activity, I am going to be dropping those things that I love in a letter frame instead. So I would go into my elements, and just like I dropped those items into the square frames, I'm going to go in. We're just going to pick some of the same things here. I'm going to bring the beach in. I'm going to bring some ice cream. So I just go through and I drop the things that I love right into those letters. And that way I am able to spell out with my name all the things that I love, or at least some of the things that I love and that are important to me. And you're going to be able, again, to go in, set the timer for however long you want students to create these name frames, go into present mode when they're done, and give every student a 15, 30-second runway to share a little bit about themselves, pronounce their names, and get the classroom, beginning to have those conversations, start connecting and starting to get to know the things that each other loves. So I hope that these ideas are something that might be helpful in your class. Again, if you're not ready for a collaborative activity, you could simply go into Share and grab the template link instead. And this will give every student in your class a copy that they're going to be able to open up and be able to design. So super fun. Now, also, some of you at the beginning of the school year are wanting to create a kind of meet the teacher deck for yourself to be able to share with students a little bit about you and the things that you love. And you're getting to kind of model that in these About Me activities, but sometimes you want to go into a little bit more detail. So when I am in a presentation deck, if I go into the design tab up here, I can type in meet the teacher, and I'm going to find a variety of templates that are set up as a meet the teacher template. And you can see here that when I hover, I see a little bit closer how all of the pages and how many pages are in this template. So let's say I really like this one here that's kind of a back to school meet the teacher. When I click on that, it is going to allow me to apply all of the pages from this design. And if I wanted to maybe just pick and choose the pages, I could do that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and apply all 10 pages. And I'm clicked on this first page down here in the tray. So this template is going to replace what I already have. So I'm going to go ahead, and click apply all 10 pages. It's asking me if I want to replace them, and I do. So now I have this meet the teacher with 10 pages that I can go in and customize. Now, one of my favorite features here is I can go into my design and click on styles, and I can change the style of this. Now, I have to erase first the meet the teacher that's in the search bar. And then notice all of these different color palettes that come up. So if I decide, you know what, I love this template, but these colors really aren't for me, I can go down and find the color palette that I do like, and I can apply those colors to my design. So maybe I really like this kind of lavender and yellow combination. I can click on that. And when I click on it, notice how it changes the color. And I can keep clicking in the center and shuffling and keep doing that until I get the color combination that I like. When I get that color combination that I like, I can apply to all pages. And I want you to watch the bottom tray and see what happens to all of these pages. It instantly translates or recolors them, reapplies the color palette to each page of my design. So now I have this presentation in the colors that I love. I can still go in and add extra pops of color, or go in and customize this and maybe change things around, but really saves time for you to be able to do that right within Canva and apply those colors. I'm going to go in here. Sometimes if a color is locked, or if it is an actual photo or element rather than the color can't be changed, things will stay the same. So just make note of that. That's why this middle part hasn't been changed to that purple lavender color. What is really cool too, I'm going to share with you one last tip, is that you can translate your designs in Canva to over 120 languages. So if I was to go into this top resize button up here, I'm going to be able to translate this design into whatever language I want. I can even select tone of voice if I would like to. I can decide which pages or which text boxes I want to translate. And then Canva is going to translate this in another presentation deck into Spanish. So I'm still going to have my original, but now I will also have my Spanish version as well. So if you wanted to create something that's going to go home to families, for instance, and you wanted to have your original and then you wanted to have your translated version, you can do that as well. So I hope this gives you some ideas. Hi, Aunt Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining in tonight, as always. I so appreciate you. But I hope that you are thinking of ways that you can get to know your students and build that really positive, thriving classroom culture this year. And maybe these ideas will just give you something else to add to your toolbox. So thanks so much for being here. Have a great Sunday night, and I will see you again next week. Bye, everyone.